My name is Michael Sassine, and I'm a veteran that has lived with PTSD since 1972, and I want to thank you for taking your time to join me today. I am the CEO and founder of Veterans Education and Transitional Services Incorporated, or VETS, and PTSDworkshops.com. We are a 501c3 organization serving people that deal with PTSD through education. Please give me 10 minutes and I'm sure you'll see the need to help us help veterans and their families struggling with PTSD, as well as non-veteran women who have been raped and abused that are struggling with PTSD. I was a homeless veteran due to my PTSD from September 2004 to April of 2006 when my father died and I was taking care of him, and my PTSD symptoms went rampant. I had absolutely no idea what was happening to me. I didn't know why something was robbing my entire life from me. I lost things like a 30-year marriage, my children, my work, my dad, my spirituality, my possessions except for a few clothes and a wheelchair. It was completely taking my identity as well as robbing me of myself. I couldn't even financially or spiritually provide for the family that I loved more than life. PTSD could cause medical problems. I had a heart attack and a stroke, both at different times, but both during a flashback. I had colon cancer, half my colon removed, and a torn esophagus twice, and almost died. And these illnesses left me disabled and in a wheelchair. I quickly found myself lost without my work because I had become a workaholic. And I couldn't work all the time to block out all the memories of my losses, especially my recent losses, as well as my traumatic events coming back. In the past, I unconsciously used work as a mechanism to stay too busy to allow intrusive memories from my military traumas to bring other nastier symptoms, like the crisis when my dad passed. Finally, after 18 months of being homeless, waiting on a spot in the National Center for PTSD, in April of 2006, I entered the center and completed the program 3 months later. It was in the program where we talked about our deepest, darkest stories, and some of these young soldier stories broke my heart. And that's where I developed a passion and made a commitment to God and myself to write a self-help book and return to school and earn the credentials to help veterans and non-veteran women that deal with PTSD. People, PTSD is real. There are more than 4 million veterans and active duty service members dealing with PTSD today, even right this second. And unfortunately, as many or more women are dealing with PTSD because of rape and abuse. These people need our help. They need your help. I call PTSD the silent killer because it takes 44 to 48 lives a day. And this number could essentially be doubled because only 46% of veterans use the VA facilities, and the VA facilities are the only reporting facilities for veteran suicides. Unfortunately, I have to assume a more drastic percentage of non-veteran women lose their lives to suicide, because in recent research at the University of Memphis, I found it consistent that women who experience trauma have a 12% more chance of developing PTSD than men do, and the average percentages were 20.4% for women and 8.1% for men. I'll provide more peer-reviewed statistics and references and conclusions on PTSD matters in the write-up on my GoFundMe page on this site. After completing the National Center for PTSD, I published my self-help book in 2009, and I entered the University of Memphis and started a bachelor's degree in psychology. I graduated in December of 2013 with honors, and I earned the Dean's Award for Special Achievement for the volunteer work on and off campus that I was doing with non-veteran and veteran families. I continued and earned my master's degree in public administration and went on to earn a master's certification in philanthropy and nonprofit leadership, and graduated with distinction in both in May of 2016. I need your help financially for startup costs until I can get a track record for stuff like materials, for outreach, office space, communication, website, and finally the professional production of a CD collection of mini or teaser workshop classes to promote our larger goal of online classes that can be viewed and help victims nationally. From a different perspective, the CD collection will be a source of future income and help vets and PTSDworkshops.com establish a national brand. My volunteers and board members have set our goal at $14,000 for this GoFundMe project. This will provide a year's worth of overhead and $2,500, as previously mentioned, to help people that can't afford to go through our program, either partial or the full amount. Our PTSD workshops will empower PTSD veterans and their family to enjoy a much better quality of life through educating the family and getting them involved in the treatment and maintenance programs, as well as social support. Most specialized treatment programs are for veterans through VA, and the waiting list is often 6 months and longer. And non-veteran women have no real structured recovery programs like veterans do. I believe that the waiting list adds to the successful veteran suicide victims, as well as the lack of group programs on PTSD for non-veteran women, adding to their number of suicides. Your donations will not go to pay staff, because our entire staff is volunteer and board members, and we all have a deep, deep passion to help people that have PTSD, and many of us have PTSD ourselves. You can select whether you want your donation to go to a non-veteran or to go to a veteran. If we stand together, we can help a lot of families be families, while at the same time help a huge amount of homeless veterans, unemployed veterans, and veterans dealing with substance abuse, because all of this is connected to PTSD. I want to thank you ahead of time for your help and your donations. Thank you so much.